management in India. So it is very, very important topic from the perspective of the agroforestry landscape management in Northeast India, because we are one of the hotspot in we have the bio hotspot zones. So this is very, very important. And today our honorable panelist is Dr. Pranab Kumar Nath. Dr. Pranab Kumar Nath, he is a senior executive of supply chain and logistics of Assam Refinery Private Limited, which is recently been renamed as Bioethanol Private Limited, right? Right, Pranab? Yeah. So let me brief about Dr. Pranab Kumar Nath. So Dr. Pranab is a seasoned expert in biomass supply chain and agroforestry. So he has over 12 years of experience, and he's driving sustainable energy solution in Northeast India. And his academic background, including the PhD in agricultural biotechnology and diplomas in agriculture extension management and logistic and supply chain management, which provides him a very holistic understanding about the sector. So as a senior executive in supply chain logistics at Assam Bioethanol Private Limited, Dr. Nath focuses on optimizing biomass supply chains and promoting energy plantations. That's very important. And his expertise in plant tissue culture and agroforestry enable efficient crop cultivation, sustainable land management. This is also very, very important because we take care of the sustainability of the land, because we hardly care about the land. That's why your 19% of our total land has been going damaged. So this is one of the most important aspects. So by bridging this gap between scientific research and practical implementation, Dr. Nath empowers rural communities and contributes to a greener future. So I think Assam Bioethanol, this project is going to change the face of the rural economy, and it's going to change the entire, that the landscape of the rural economy of Assam, obviously, and also it changed the, I think, landscape of the greener energy solution that which they are going to give us. So it will not only change the landscape in Assam. Obviously, this will give a different kind of value chain development, which will help our our local communities, and it's also it will help us to sustain the landscape management also. So I will not take much time. So before that, I'd like to say that this is climate talk is a collaborative effort. We have started in December 2023. This is in collaborative effort by Center for Cloud and Climate Change. Cotton University. His director is Dr. Rahul Monto. He's present here, and then our Creation Social Impact Foundation, represented by Arup Kumar Boiso. He's also here today, and myself, Satyan Mohanto from the Satyan Mohanto Connect. And today, BD LLP is represented by Saiful Islam. So for future reference, we are going to recording this this entire session. So thank you very much. The platform is to you, Dr. Pranab. Please.
Thank you, Satyendra, and I welcome all the participants to today's talk. And thank you, Satyendra and Climate Talk team for a gracious introduction. So I'm going to present my slides. Okay, kindly let me know, like, is it visible?
Yes, sir, yes, visible, sir.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. So the topic of my today's talk is biomass supply chain and the agroforestry landscape management in Northeast India. So as we all know that, wait, the slide's not changing. Okay. So So this is a brief outline of my presentation. So firstly, we'll go through what is agroforestry in a very basic way, and why it is important for us as a whole, and how it is done. Then we'll briefly see how this agroforestry on a far-reaching way it benefits us as a community. Then agroforestry, how it is practiced in northeastern states. Briefly, we will also look into that. And followed by that, we'll see how bamboo is a very suitable agroforestry candidate. And towards the last part of my presentation, we'll see how we have designed our bamboo value chain or bamboo sourcing strategy for our biorefinery, which is situated in Numaligarh. And at last, we'll see what are the key takeaways from the presentation. So if we ask what is agroforestry, we can say in a very simple word in this way, that it is a combination and at the same time it is an optimization of the best practices from agriculture along with forestry. And it is an intentional mixing of trees, shrubs, and our other vegetable crops, as well as pasture, pisciculture also, or leguminous plants, so that there is a harmonious and sustainable production system in place. And the ultimate aim is to mimic a natural forest and also to replicate the beneficial functions. And many a time, agroforestry provides a variety of benefits, like it helps to provide windbreak effect, and it reduces the crop temperature, ambient temperature, strengthens the soil microbes as well as biodiversity, and also reduces the soil moisture evaporation. And why it is important? And as we already know that the global mean temperature is increasing day by day, and the atmospheric carbon dioxide also it is increasing. To the top side of my slide, I'm showing a few infographics which is sourced from NASA website, and it shows how it has changed over the period of time. And ultimately, how it impacts our cropping system is it has reduced photosynthetic activity or efficiency. Then this has excess of heat causes leaf damage, and ultimately which causes a decrease in the yield of biomass or fruits. Heat, and that causes deterioration of the leaves, and ultimately it hurts the production. And this happens in almost throughout the agricultural cropping system. So now if we ask how agroforestry is practiced, so we can say that agroforestry is practiced in a combination, like we can choose the cropping pattern or crops as well as say tree or shrubs or crops or vegetables or pastures, and the combination excuse me, and the combination we choose, and accordingly it is named. So there has been some 20 common agroforestry cropping system which is listed in the open forum and the open literature forum, and by agroclimatic region wise, India is divided into 15 regions. So in the left side of my slide, I'm showing that Assam and northeastern states is painted as pink, and it is categorized under the zone 2. So in zone 2, many of these agroforestry practices are done. And the yellow green shaded boxes, it shows the agroforestry practices which is compatible with bamboo. Now let us see what are the core principles of agroforestry. So based on the candidate crops which we combine for a particular agroforestry practice in our field, we'll mainly look into the aspect like primarily it should satisfy the multiple use of the land area, be it for timber production, be it for fruit production or pisciculture. Then comes the synergy, that there shouldn't be any competition for nutrients and like resources. only those plant or crops can be planted in an agroforestry system which do not compete and they don't have any lethal effect against each other. And next comes the sustainability. Sustainability in regard to cost economics and also the ecological sustainability should be there. Then only a cropping system we can categorize under an agroforestry system. And there are another component which we can categorize under design principle that look after like how well you can select a site for a particular agroforestry system and what are the species which we can include and what is a spatial arrangement. Spatial arrangement it means that like in regard to say light, whether a crop is shade loving or it is shade avoiding. So that way we need to select the crops. And then comes the management practices. Like there are various management practices which should be compatible with the crops which you choose for a particular agroforestry system. So in a wider way, we can see that agroforestry helps in recycling of the nutrients. It helps in conservation of soil and water. And it promotes commensalism, amensalism, and reduces competition. Commensalism, amensalism, it is a very much important, phenomenon which goes on inside, beneath the soil, and where the microbes interacts along with the, this fungus and all the common soil microbes, and that ultimately ensures the productivity or increases the productivity of an agroforestry system. And this is again the far-reaching benefit of agroforestry system. First one is the land restoration. It can be used for land restoration and increasing productivity, increased sustainability, soil health is improved, ecological stability is achieved, food security we can ensure, and economic development. So let us now see agroforestry as which is a way of life. Like it is being practiced from ages in Assam as well as northeastern states. And it is mainly driven by its indigenous knowledge, then social and cultural beliefs and significance, and also the expected economic outcome. By economic outcome, we mean to say that whether the agroforestry system it is for subsistence purpose or semi-commercial purpose or fully commercial purpose. For example, subsistence-based agroforestry, our homestead gardens, those are an example of subsistence-based agroforestry. Another example of subsistence-based agroforestry is this Zoom cultivation, which is widely practiced in our hilly states. And in the last line of this slide, I'm showing one example or two examples, which is very often practiced in Assam, which is a mix of timber as well as fruit crop. And this slide shows a variety of agricultural practice which can be categorized under agroforestry. And in the first fix, we can see this gomari aru banana combination. Then we are very much aware of the tea garden along with the shade trees. So this is also a very good example of agroforestry, which is widely or very prominently we can see in our in Assam. And there comes then bamboo and sesame, which is also mixed with chickpea. So these are the various examples which is already in practice in the northeastern states. So there now, as we have already seen, what are the benefits or what are the good traits of agroforestry system. Let us now see what are the bottlenecks towards practicing agroforestry in a wider scale. So first comes the financial resources. So most of our farmers are marginal farmers. Their land holding is very much less as per our this apart and ASRLM data. Most of the household they have 0.5 biga of land only for say this agroforestry system. This is as per 2024 report, and there is not adequate awareness and knowledge about agroforestry or the benefit. and how to do it. And there is also, say, lack of market linkage, which prevents progressive farmers to adopt agroforestry system. But there are also solutions to every problem. So what might be the solutions to all these bottlenecks? First one is again the collaborative efforts, and we are very much aware of the different schemes which have come out now, and different technical assistance programs and capacity building programs which is underway in order to educate our farmers. Then knowledge sharing is a very good tool to promote agriculture, this agroforestry system, and market linkage. It is also one of the important aspects to promote agroforestry in a wider scale. So now let us see how bamboo is a suitable candidate crop for agroforestry. Bamboo, as we all know, that it is one of the most fast-growing, sturdy, perennial, as well as evergreen grass. Grass, we can say, because it has been recategorized. Before, it was considered in the timber list, and after some amendment, now bamboo is considered as a grass, and it has been widely popularized for different uses throughout in different spheres of our life. Then the agroclimatic condition of northeastern states, it is very much suitable, and once it is planted, bamboo, it grows for generations, and there is minimum input cost, and it also supports a variety of intercrops. So that way, bamboo is a very good and excellent, we can say, candidate crop for agroforestry. And we are also very much aware that it is also called as a premium cash crop because of the huge demand which is emerging. And with awareness, or as we move towards renewable energy sector, this bio CNG briquettes, activated charcoal, bioethanol, and all this has been targeted to be produced from bamboo. So now let us see some infographics which is available in the open forum, and mainly I sourced this from the Forest Survey of India report 2021. So this shows the most profusely bamboo growing states to the left side of my slide, and then I am showing the 7 states, northeastern states, according to the bamboo availability in terms of million metric ton. So we can see that Assam, as well as our neighboring states, they are generously, they harbor a huge variety, species, as well as huge stock of bamboo. So as per the report, we can say that we have 125 species in India which are indigenous, and in the northeastern states we have 90 species, and naturally growing out of that is only 38, and the total available bamboo biomass, we can say 178.61 million metric ton. So now, as we we have already come to know what is the profuse potentiality of bamboo. So let us now move towards what we are doing as a biorefinery in Assam. So Assam Biorefinery, it is one of its kind bamboo to fuel grade ethanol production facility, which is under process, and we are very soon going to start our production. And in the global biorefinery atlas, we can see ourselves, and here in the list, I'm showing in the second number. And the other dots, it shows the different biorefinery which is under development throughout the world, whether along with their primary, secondary, or whether they are multi-stock feed. So Assam Bioethanol Private Limited, and previously we were known as Assam Biorefinery Private Limited. So this is joint venture of Numaligarh Refinery, Campolis, and Fortum. This Campolis and Fortum, they are Finland-based counterparts, and the technology of Assam Bioethanol Private Limited is provided by Campolis. So now let us briefly go through how at our biorefinery we are designing our biomass sourcing supply chain, and at the same time we are trying to address the sustainable aspect so that the sourcing strategy can go on for a longer duration time, and at the same time it also can foster other upcoming small or medium scale bamboo based industries. So it is Assam Bioethanol Private. It is one of the flagship project which is under progress, and it is the first of its kind, as I mentioned previously also. And the biomass requirement is 5 lakh ton per annum, and the product what we are going to produce, primary product will be ethanol, 49,000 metric ton per annum. Then in the process of making ethanol, there will be some byproducts which is also having high value in the market. Those are acetic acid, furfural, liquid carbon dioxide, which is of food grade, and green energy, which will be produced from whatever left out, whatever is left out after the process, that will be burned, and this electricity will be generated. And as on date, our plant is in at 97% physical progress. So now let us see, for the awareness of the participant as well as everyone, that what are the bamboo species which is required to be which we require for our plant. Mainly, we have categorized or we have included all the 10 commercially important species which is listed in the Assam Bamboo Mission or Bamboo Mission website. And mainly here I have listed 7 numbers. And primarily how they have been listed, we can say based on the yield per hectare or per unit farm area, or based on the cellulose content, and based on their thickness. So more is the thickness, more is the productivity in regard to per unit farming area. So more will the farming production per unit farm area, more will be it will be profitable for the farmers. And at the same time, we are also prioritizing, or we are promoting that we will be using multiple species, so that no single species is overexploited, and this way we can conserve the population in the wild or in the homestead gardens. So this is a design of our supply chain. Here primarily we have 4 stakeholders. First one is the farmer to the left hand side of the slide. And farmers are subcategorized into, say, individual or small scale farmers. Then there will be community farmers, joint forest management committees. Then again, there will be some farmer group say farmer producer companies, cooperatives, or self-help group, etc. And for the ease of doing, making this bamboo farming an attractive avenue, what we have done, we have broken down the steps which takes place in the process of sourcing bamboo from the farm to the industry. And there comes our second stakeholder, which we have named it as a harvesting and interim transporter. They will go to the farmer's place. They will harvest a scientifically allowed amount of bamboo biomass, so that bamboo can thrive in the farmer's place. Every year it will grow in a very lavish way, and then the bamboo by this harvester team will be brought to this local level entrepreneur. Local level entrepreneur, it is a small bamboo processing plant, or we can say pre-processing plant, which will be decentralized in regard to its operation, and it will be placed in almost all the districts of Assam as well as the neighboring states. And there, what they will do, they will size reduce bamboo to smaller chips of the size, say, 25 mm. Then these chips will be transported to our refinery through some registered transporters. And the uniqueness of this supply chain model is this, that as the material moves from left to right, and the finance, like whatever the service or product the stakeholders has provided to biorefinery, and they will be paid through our MPNL bank into their account directly. So there will be no intermediary, and that way we can maximize the profitability of all the stakeholders. And in order to ensure the agile management or seamless functionality of our supply chain. One supply chain software has been designed in-house, and where this mapping of resources will be recorded, then biomass management aspect will be looking, then whatever data will be collected, it will be stored in the cloud-based solution, and parallelly, that account payment and ERP, SAP integration, AIML, all this has been integrated into the supply chain software solution. So this is a just skeleton again. What will be the process flow? Then let us now see what are the sourcing area. So I have previously mentioned that there will be 4 states, primarily the Assam and the neighboring states, and most of the districts will be that we will be covering is from Assam, 18 districts, then from Arunachal 4 districts, from Nagaland 5, and from Meghalaya 1. So we'll be registering or onboarding all the farming groups as well as FPCs and all bamboo growing stakeholders. And this is the size of that LLEs that previously I showed. And I mean to say these are the pre-processing units, and this will be distributed throughout our sourcing area, and they are mainly placed in area where bamboo is available, and enough it is available in such a way that the pre-processing plant can run throughout in a sustainable way. And this is like how the LLE will look like. There will be a processing unit, like one machine will be there that will have 40-ton bamboo cutting capacity. Then the land area will be 4 to 5 bigha, and he will be also having one power connection and one way bridge to keep track of the ingoing and outgoing materials, and the area will be also fortified with CCTV and RFIDs in order to record the data in a very well way. And this is another transportation route which we are exploring, and it will not be possible in all throughout our sourcing area, but yes, some part of Nagaland it will be possible, and then it is being prospected, and like how we can make use of the riverine routes. So now, as we already have seen that what is for our plant, and this is 5 lakh ton per year. It is a huge requirement, and as well as we also know that there are different bamboo-based bamboo using avenues which are coming out in Assam as well as throughout the country. So in order to sustain the supply chain, we are also working a little bit upstream, and we are trying to establish some new bamboo biomass stock. And how we are doing that? With the financial help from NRL, one startup in Dibrugarh, they have been assigned the work of producing quality bamboo sapling in a mass scale. So they will be producing 80,000 bamboo saplings per month, and these saplings will be again raised in forest nurseries, social forestry nurseries, and ultimately we'll be having 60 lakhs ready to plant bamboo saplings which can be planted in 15,000 hectares. So we are using this biomass in the near future, which will also ensure that the biomass resources are conserved. And this is just a snapshot of the nursery, and this is the nursery which is there in Kothiatoli, and to the right it is a snapshot of it was taken during distribution of the bamboo sapling to one of the farming group. And just I wanted to mention that these saplings will be provided free of cost to all the farmers and farming groups, so that they can easily adopt this bamboo-based agroforestry system, and they can get associated with Biorefinery in order to ensure a good livelihood. And now, as we have seen that bamboo will be cultivated in a commercial way, and we should also know what is the yield potential of bamboo when it is done in a scientific way or following all the standard practices. So as this is data from our field study as well as literature survey. And bamboo after plantation, if it is harvested in the fourth year onwards, and if we practice sustainable harvesting method, like 1/3 of the bamboo will be cut every year, then we can get some 50 tons of bamboo from the fourth or fifth year onwards, and gradually the yield increases, and afterwards it gets stabilized throughout the lifetime of the bamboo clump. And that way we can assume for our calculation purpose, farmers can take this number that newly planted bamboo yields 50 ton of biomass per hectare per year. So there is a massive opportunity for livelihood generation for the farmers of our northeastern states, and to adopt bamboo based cultivation system. And here to the right side, this is a model plantation, which is for the demonstration purpose for farmers as well as for training, which we do conduct time to time. And the small snapshot, it is a snapshot of the bamboo biomass to show the thickness. And this is Tulla variety, and it was of 3.5 years age when it was harvested. We are also working with different stakeholders, agencies, nodal agencies from the state as well as our neighboring state in order to strengthen the value chain. So this is just to give a hint what we have been doing. First one is the Northeast Can and Bamboo Development Council, then Punjab National Bank, Assam Rural Livelihood Mission, then NAFED, AMPRI. It is one of the notable farmer producer company. They have been working in various verticals, including bamboo. So we have signed MOU with them, and Chroma Biotech for so that they ensures the right quality of planting material is produced. And then to the bottom of the slide, this is the MOU signing ceremony with the Assam Forest Department. So as a whole, our effort for sustainable value chain design and how we are ensuring this is that we are trying to practice responsible sourcing. At the same time, we are trying to ensure that sustainable harvesting is being practiced in the field, in the farmer field. Then we are also trying to provide tailor-made package and practices to the farmers or farming groups so that they can maximize their yield. And ultimately, it is a win-win situation for our biorefinery as well as for the farmers. And we are also geotagging the biomass resources so that we can take informed decision. And on a wider scale, the socio-environmental benefit, what we are looking forward to is that we will be, onboarding bamboo farming area, or we can say degraded land or non-agricultural land where bamboo will be farmed, and we'll give linkage to as big as 12,500 hectare of wasteland. Then bamboo, we already know that it captures carbon dioxide from the environment, from the atmosphere, and it is of the scale at 17 ton per hectare per year. So it is very high for a plant or species. So that way, almost 2,000 metric ton carbon will be captured or will be sequestered in the bamboo plantation. Then the value chain, it is calculated to be 195 crore, almost 200 crore, which will be given to throughout the bamboo value chain in the northeastern states. Then the ultimate aim of this biorefinery is to reduce the oil import, which is of the scale $60 million per year. and there will be some 35,000 green jobs generated. They will be involved throughout the value chain, and this as a whole will address many of the standard development goals which is set by the United Nations. So I have almost come towards the last of my presentation. So let us go through the key takeaways from today's presentation. First one is that bamboo, it is a excellent agroforestry candidate crop, and it is an excellent candidate for livelihood, ensuring livelihood. And Assam Bioethanol Private Limited, it presents a huge market for the bamboo growers of the region of the Assam as well as its neighboring states. And BPL will be procuring 5 lakh ton, which we can visualize as a 2 crore bamboo poles per year for our plant directly from the farmers, and the benefit will be transferred to their bank account directly. So that way we are trying to set some good milestone in our journey where we are trying to move away from fossil fuel. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Okay, thank you, Pranab. This is really a great learning for us. I hope for the entire platform, because we have been hearing about the biochannel for quite a time. So this is finally and formally we came to know, and thank you very much for that. So I have just one query like that. That is, what is this liquid carbon dioxide this food grade? If you can think about that.
Okay, so actually carbon dioxide, it is, I'll not go very much deep into the process part, but yes, let us just see that first bamboo, their cellulose, hemicellulose, lignin, these are the 3 primary component or chemicals present in bamboo, and we are separating cellulose first in the processing, and ultimately from cellulose we are getting glucose. So after we get glucose, this is our traditional fermentation process. Then during fermentation, carbon dioxide is produced as a bioprocess. This is produced everywhere. So in our production process, what we are doing in order to increase profitability, and in order to maximize the production efficiency or profitability, what we are doing, we are capturing that carbon dioxide which is evolved or produced during fermentation process, and it is purified to such a extent that it will become of food grade. So that is what it is, liquid carbon dioxide. And under pressure, it becomes gas becomes liquid. So that way we are calling it liquid carbon dioxide, which is of food grade.
Okay, thank you very much. So if anybody has any kind of a question or queries, please. Rahul.
No, it's okay. Nice. Thanks, Dr. Pranab Nath. It's a nice talk.
Actually, if we only from here, only $60 million we can save, right, every year.
What is the production like now? Presently, how much you are producing?
I think you're mute. Please unmute it.
Sorry. So we are very much near to starting our production. Like one priority loop, we are going to start from this January, and very soon this is going to be started. Very soon it is going to be started. Now plant is under advanced stage of completion. So we are looking forward to this. That
already we have started purchasing bamboos actually.
Yes, partly we can say that for this priority loop commissioning, we have started procuring bamboo, and we have made this supply chain software solution live, and we have already done the payment through this system into the bank account of the farmers.
So you have these LLEs on board.
Yes, LLEs are also, being onboarded, but we have kept them on pause in order to, sync them along with our plan development. So that as because they'll be, taking loan from the banks. So, their production should not be at halt after they starts, taking the loan and this thing. So, but everything is in place. As soon as, we get the, go ahead, and everything,
Right.
linked, and everything will be made live.
Okay. So the way you have, I think, made this entire plan, I think our local farmers will be benefited and the local ecosystem, economy will build up, I believe, in the course of time.
Yeah, they are using wastelands. It's degraded lands they are targeting. That is good.
May I ask something? I'm Runa Rafiq.
Yes.
Yeah, Rona, welcome. Yes.
Dr. Nath, how does this scheme reach the farmers? I missed that part.
Okay. So what we are doing, we have been onboarding farmers into our database. So we are recording their land. It is a kind of a door-to-door census of their land area.
Who is doing it?
We're doing this through some third party. We are onboarding some actively working agencies. Say which are affiliated different government agencies. Also, they do carry out different government projects, or who have good ground presence, or who are linked very much strongly strong presence. So we have been using their service.
I work in a trust, and we work with a lot of farmers in four areas, in fact: Udalguri, Karbi Anglong, and Kamrup, and Barak Valley.
Okay.
I am interested if we can extend this to our farmers.
Yes.
Who do I get in touch with? You just showed a website link.
Yes. So my slide, is it still live? Can you see the slide?
You have to share it.
Okay. Okay. So this is our website. And they're all context number also there, like who will be the responsible persons.
Thank you. That was.
Hey, hi, Otonu.
Yes.
Yeah, do you want to say something?
No, actually, I was in another call, so I missed most of the talk.
Right.
But the concept is interesting. That is why I was here. But the point is, I would like to extend this concept a little further and ask you a question, Dr. Nath, Professor Nath, if that might be irrelevant to this, in which case we can have an offline discussion.
Yes, please.
What I wanted to ask you was when you do this biomass supply chain, there is finally, where will it end up? Let me put a context to this question. It's a very broad-based question. What I'm trying to ask you is when I say where will it end up, is where what is the good that will come out of it? The good can be in multiple levels and multiple directions, right? One is that it can bring in certain amount of reduction in their drudgery, right, of the people, the farmers. What Runa was asking about, can I enroll them? So it can bring a reduction in the drudgery or an improvement in the sustainability by increasing their better utilization of the biomass waste that they have at home or in their farmstead, right? So, for example, আমি যোনটো আমাৰ পথাৰত এতিয়া ধান কাটাৰ পিছত যোনটো থাকি যায়, the stubble, basically, how to use it better, That is one, that can be one part of it, and again I'm qualifying my question because I missed part of your presentation, so this might be relevant, in which case please stop me, that is why I'm saying this. And the second thing can be in our villages we have tons of agro waste, agroforestry leads to agro waste also, right? Firewood, leaves, I mean, dead tree branches, the leaves falling down in the in the winter season. This because most of our trees are deciduous trees.
Yes.
So those can be better utilized as biomass, and biomass can be used for fertilizer generation, fertilizer development, or it can be used as fuel and slash energy. And there can be, if you think about it from a very long-term perspective, not long-term perspective, but a visionary perspective, that we can also finally get some carbon credits out of it. We can go to the carbon market with this kind of thoughts. Basically, not just thoughts, but also some action.
Yes.
Our thoughts has to be concretized. That's what I'm trying to say. Either we have a stove made for utilizing the biomass, or we have a technique for turning it into better technique for turning it into fertilizer, because we already have all these vermicompost and other things, but there can be more efficient ways of doing it. So that is what I'm trying to understand. When you talk about supply chain, there can be ways of burning it in a better manner, because if you look at, you look at briquette, for example, a briquette which is made out of bamboo waste, with sawdust and certain amount of binders, like oil. They use the cheapest oil possible to use as a binder. Then you get 2000 calorific value. The calorific value of one briquette is 2000,
Yes.
which is half of coal. Coal is 4000, briquette is 2000. Briquette is a biomass, basically a biomass fuel. Essentially, that's what I'm trying to say. Now, what is this? That is why I'm coming, and that is why I'm asking this question. So, what is your end goal, or what is the path that you want to follow when you say biomass-based supply chain or biomass generated out of agro waste? What is the path that you? What is your vision, or what is the path, basically?
Yes.
Again, if I'm asking an irrelevant question, please forgive me.
No problem. I'm clarifying. I can understand you missed some of the part of the slides.
Right.
Biomass by I tried to describe bamboo as a agroforestry crop, and you are also correct that there will be biomass waste. Yes,
Exactly.
but in our plant we are specifically we are using only bamboo. Like our process is designed only to accept bamboo biomass. Okay. But you are also correct that yes, it can, by principle, the same process can also, consume other agro waste or agro biomass. But yes, there are also other plants which are coming up, say in Panipat, they are making this rice straw to 2G ethanol plant. And for our purpose, but we are using exclusively bamboo, and we are using bamboo, or we are trying to maximize the yield in such a way that whatever the after extracting of the chemicals, or after processing, whatever will be left out, that will be used as a biocoal. And that we are burning in our in-house this power generation unit. And in the last, we are getting this fertilizer kind of, or suitable this
Ash.
left out amount, which can be used as a fertilizer. Yes. So
Okay.
here it is a kind of zero waste process, zero waste plant.
Right. So, that is what I was mentioning also, because as I said, briquette is something that you develop out of bamboo processing waste, so that has got like some fixed calorific value. I mean, when I say fixed, not fixed actually, it can vary depending on your process of manufacturing that briquette. And then finally, you use it as a fuel, right? So that is the same stream that you are following, the same path that you are following, right? Basically, right?
Yes.
Okay. And the other thing that we talked about is like the stubble or the horizontal, hay, like
Nice.
rice hay. So that has got multiple uses actually. Like people use it as for cow feed, like feed to the
As a fodder.
correct. Then again in Phalapuzi to build all the Bihu time Phalapuzi, and also like it is used for mushroom growing.
Yes.
That is an essential input for mushroom growing. So those kind of multiple inputs are there for agro waste and like leading it there. But the only thing is that what we need to look for is the emission versus efficiency part, like so it will definitely all combustion will lead to carbon dioxide. There is no question about that. My only point is like how much of it is like efficient burning of a briquette, efficient burning of the hay, basically, which is where the monoxide part will come down, basically, which is like harmful gas, essentially. That is what I'm trying to understand. Like I mean, and I think we don't do much analysis. Most of us don't do much analysis around that, and we lack infrastructure also sometimes to do that kind of analysis. But that is an essential aspect to that, basically. Whether when we burn it, how much carbon monoxide, how much carbon dioxide, is there any methane emission, or is there any other noxious gas emission, basically? That is because biomass, we have been, I mean, everyone uses biomass at the end of the day, like, from immemorial times. But how much or how efficient is the burning process, combustion process, is what we need to finally arrive at, basically. That will determine the acceptability as per the latest GHG accounting norms or SDG norms, basically. Even now, like we have got a lot of these bioethanol plants that are coming up in Assam, 6 or 7 of them officially are supposed to come up. They are also bamboo based. Most of them are again maize based, and they're supposed
they are not the bamboo based, I think, Otono. They are mostly they are rice based
Yes.
and maize based, yeah.
And what I'm trying to say is they are bamboo based in the sense of burning. They are most of them plan to burn bamboo or briquette for their.
Okay.
That is what I meant to say. But for fermentation purpose, they grain, that is maize or rice. But rice is again seasonal, so most of them close down during the off season and then restart now. Basically,
So rice is not also available. Already government is tell us we cannot supply the rice. Only
Dr. Nath, actually, what is I mean, like in the production process, you will be requiring a lot of energy, actually, nah?
Yes.
The whole this thing, yeah. So, what is the carbon footprint? I'm just asking, actually, nah? The whole process, because you'll be transporting everything from. Basically, you are trying to get carbon credit, but I believe there is some carbon footprint too, actually, in the whole process.
Yes. But I have not included that slide. But yes, we have done that carbon footprint calculation, and which will be equalized or mostly balanced out by this area of bamboo plantation area we are promoting. So I tried to.
I mean, the degraded land, if you want to plant bamboos, so that will require also quite a lot of efforts. I mean, that too will have some footprints. I mean.
No, I mean to say that degraded land entirely, we won't be doing the plantation, but what we are doing by making the plant, we are trying to, conserve some bamboo forest or say it homestead garden or say community forest where bamboo is growing currently, and that is doing carbon capture process. And yes, and during the transport and the amount of area, say I mentioned that number 12,500 hectare of
Yeah.
bamboo area, and 17 ton is the bamboo capturing capacity for a fully grown bamboo area, and per
That is for the
hectare.
whole area, you mean, no?
Yes, yes. Per hectare, 17 ton is fixed. Carbon dioxide is fixed, and that way, if we do the calculation, a very minimal amount is left out, and we considered everything like say biomass transportation and whatever will be given out as a flue gas and all this. So yes, but there are some balance that need to, and this calculation once we go ahead with the full scale production, this calculation this should be it is foolproof.
Yeah, when you are expecting to go, production,
We are trying to do this by this January.
Okay.
Commissioning it is we are trying to do. Yes, and this priority circuit and then hydro testing and all these steps, it is under process.
Okay.
So
you have said that everything has been, this data has been, you have maintaining this data or documenting it,
Yes, this is as mandated. It is
So that data can be shared probably, no? At some time.
this data, but I'm not quite sure about that aspect because I am serving in the supply chain and logistic department. So maybe that I have to seek, other departments' consent, or maybe I have to, go to them.
Okay. Thank you.
No, so I think, sorry, Satyendra. What I was trying to say is Rahul has brought out a very important point, about the sharing of, one is the calculation of the data, basically baselining exercise. So this is like your pre-commissioning data, pre-commissioning thing. So this is more of a estimation or a forecasting, So there will be a post-commissioning, there will be another thing which will be more like, pre-baselining, not exactly baselining. Only when you reach the steady state mode, you should ideally baseline it. And that is when you do the baselining, just before that or just after that, you should do your sustainability exercise, the implementation of your sustainability strategy, basically. So good thing is that we have started at the right time. And I think if you have not already done that, you should parallelly start drawing up a sustainability strategy, from now on, basically. So all those things that you talked about are very much pertaining to or relevant to certain sustainability of your thing, of your industry or plant. But you will have to do a mitigation strategy, proper mitigation strategy, in the sense that a documented mitigation strategy. What you're talking about is already part of your mitigation strategy, that this much hectare of bamboo will be there. So we are capturing carbon, so the carbon sequestration is this much. So, but you will need standard established data to do that. Meaning, all this, there are 2-3 authorities in India which publishes the GHG equivalence, right? So they set down those norms for calculating the GHGs and the carbon sequestration along with that. What is the mitigation? So which tree will give you how much material? So bamboo is supposed to be a positive tree, basically, carbon positive tree. So those things put together, I think you'll need to document your sustainability strategy, and as well as all these plans, plans as in keep on revising your plans, basically. So as you progress, you'll have to do an energy audit, because when you start consuming energy, then only you will know how much you have consumed as per design, or because there will be thermal leakage of energy. So if you do a thermal mapping, you will see the areas where you are losing energy. Every bulb will be radiating heat. Besides consuming, they will also be giving out heat. Consuming electricity and converting it to heat. So then the water vapor emissions will be there, which you cannot calculate right now, basically. You can do only water vapor calculation based on the humidity. That is not what you are looking to do. You are looking to do water vapor calculation based on your process, basically. So you'll have to do this in a step-by-step manner, And once you do your baseline, as I said, just before and after, you can revise your strategy, sustainability strategy. So your water footprint also come into the game at that point of time. Now, how much water you are consuming, how much water you are recharging, where you are getting your water from. So all those parameters you will have to look into it. Then only you will have your complete sustainability strategy in place. So just looking at the carbon sequestration or the net positive impact is one aspect, but you'll have to look at it from a holistic perspective. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe that part has been taken care of. Yes, but I don't have access to all this data. But yes, we have been getting this as third party audit for this purpose.
Okay.
Yes.
Third party audit for energy or what, Pranab?
No, like overall capturing of the data, like say mass balance, or else like what will be the emission and what is the actual area that So all this is being considered because this comes under some mandates also. So we are capturing those data, and it is a kind of ongoing process.
Right. It is an ongoing process. That's what I'm trying to say. So once you reach the steady state, you will have to dynamically capture the data.
Yes.
And then do the computation also. Because there will be process inefficiencies also creeping in at that point of time.
Right.
Okay, then thank you very much. This is very fruitful, and we are really happy, to have you, Dr. Pranab, with today as the panelist. I think this is the time, the constraint. So thank you very much, and thank you very much all participate today. So till Climate Talk 18, it's a goodbye and good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you.